Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. I'm Barber Dave, and we're going to do a little bit of an experimental shave today. We'll get more into that in just a minute. But for today's cast of characters, we're going to be using, and this is for Spider at the Shaving Cadre. We talked about this on one of our Zoom calls. I'm going to be using CBL's Ghost Dragon's Blood. Very deep, dark incense, very much a cooler weather scent, but it's got a little bit of a surprise in it, and it's with a synthetic cooling agent. For our razor today, we're going to be using my Grail razor, and it is my Dorko 1151, which is a razor I sought after for a long time. For the brush today, kind of keeping with that dark cathedral type theme, we're going to be going with the Sorrentino BrushWorks Corleone, which you really can't see all the different stuff. It was meant to be more of a peacock color. For the aftershave, we're going to go with the Nivea 2-in-1, and yes, the Aquanaut is still hanging out at the bottom. And then for the fragrance, we're going to be going with what I think should be called Catholic Church or Cathedral, and it's Penhaligon's Elixir, and we'll go into more details on that. Of course, we'll be using the talc and everything else. So, the shave we're going to be doing today, there's somebody, and I can't remember who, and I apologize, that wrote in their journal at the Shaving Cadre, which is www.theshavingcadre.com, that they had done, instead of doing a 3-pass shave, they did a 2-pass shave, one across the grain and one against the grain. Now, that flies in all the conventional thinking about that your first pass should always be with the grain because you never want to go against the grain. And on the barbering side, it's even more of a faux pas to do that, because traditionally you always go with the grain and very rarely go against the grain when doing a straight shave with a client. Now, I do, depending on the client itself. So yesterday, and I believe that was with a DE, not a straight. So we're going to try it with a straight today on both sides of the face. Yesterday for my shave, I tried it on one half of the face with a DE. And the results were surprisingly good. So we're going to try that today to see what happens when we do just a 2-pass shave, and see if we can get to DSBBS, which, for those of you that don't know that, DSBBS is Dolphin Skin Baby Butt Smooth. And if you've ever felt the outside of a dolphin, it feels like it's basically porcelain, as opposed to the inside of the dolphin. I don't know what sick person you are if you felt the inside of a dolphin. Well, let's not even go there. So anyways, so we're going to try that and see what happens, to see if it's a train wreck or if it's actually saves some steps. So I won't speed up this shave today because I want to make sure that we see how that works. Now, the dragon's blood, very, as is most of Chris's soaps, very easy to load, and just a beautifully deep scent. I don't get a chance to use it as much as I'd like because obviously it cloys in very warm weather. And we're finally starting to cool off a little bit, so I think that it's worthwhile. The razor has been stropped 30 and 60 on linen and leather. So we'll see how this works. The Dragon's Blood soap is just Gothic. It's very, 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 very cathedral-esque, in my opinion. And that's why it matches so well with the Penhaligons. Scent strength is a good 4 in this one. Now, this version is an older version. But what I like is, I'm not sure if it's the WS9 or the WS12, which is the cooling agent. I'm not sure which one, but what I like, it's the same type of cooling agents that's used in most of your toothpaste and mouthwashes that have cooling. And it's just, well, not necessarily mouthwashes, I think that's mint, but it's just a wonderful cooling, because it's not, you don't get that smell that you do with menthol. so the fragrances don't get cloyed with you know, with that menthol smell, but you get the cooling, and it comes on very slowly at first. In the first pass you feel it a little bit, but then as it builds you start to feel it more and more, and then post shave it just sticks around. And you can see all of Chris's soaps at his website, which you can find in our artisan retail section on the shaving cadre. Okay, so we're going to try doing across the grain and against the grain with no with the grain pass. Now for me, my across the grain is straight up. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be odd because I have never done this before. Obviously, since this is traditionally my second pass, there's definitely a lot more audio feedback with this razor. And she's a little bit of a singer to begin with. But smooth, just different. This is where I notice that the difference is right on the chin a little bit more. And on the lip as well. Just a little bit more effort. Okay, let's see how that was. Huh, surprisingly good. And see what happens here. So only one more pass before any cleanup. I don't know if I would ever switch to this on a regular basis just because I like the 3 passes, but we'll see. I'm going to strop this real quick. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do our against the grain pass. So far, so good. The only real difference I see on this is definitely on the lip area. So let's see how it did. Wow. A couple areas where I see that with the grain pass could help, but really, overall, it does save. It does save quite a step. Do a little cleanup. And Chris's soaps are incredibly slick, so you can do this. You could do this with water. And the cooling really comes in at the end of the shave, but doesn't block that wonderful incensey smell. So that experiment actually went very well. And the results, I would definitely call that pretty close to DSBBS, if not really there. Perfectly smooth. Now, the big key is obviously when you're shaving with a straight razor to see how the alum does, because you have a tendency to irritate a little bit more with a straight shave when you do 3 passes. Hardly any feedback at all. A little bit on the lip area, which I expected because I think my lip area grows at more of a traditional angle. Yeah. This looks like this might be something I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'll do it all the time, but it saves some time. It saves the skin a little bit. I probably would not incorporate this in the barber shop because of people's different hair growth, and when I map each person's beard before a shave, you know, it would depend on that. But because as I said, we very rarely go against the grain unless the customer likes it, just from an irritation standpoint. But I mean, I do, but it takes a good touch with the blade since you're not feeling it on your own skin. Fantastic. Good shave. Okay, we're going to shake this up. I can't do it like Nurse Dave, but pow! I can't do it like him. But the Aquanaut goes for a ride. And this Nivea 2-in-1 is just fantastic stuff. You don't need a lot, 5 or 6 drops maybe. Got a nice aquatic, fresh scent. But it doesn't interfere with the smell of the dragon's blood, which just comes out just amazingly still. And the cooling is just fantastic. So we'll do the Proraso Talc today because it's got a little bit of rosemary and eucalyptus and mint. Kind of fits in with that theme. And this shave is really dedicated, or I should say inspired, by the conversation that KJ Spider and I had on the Zoom call with some other people regarding dragon's blood. The only other dragon's blood scent that I have is really one that's by Ethos. And I'm not, although I burn, we have dragon's blood incense, we don't do it a lot, but this is a perfect Sunday, go to church, go to a cathedral type of shave. And then once again, the Penhaligon's Elixir, just a little bit, it's got a little bit more of a sweet note to it, but not much. But basically, what I tell people about Penhaligon's Elixir is if you were to go into the Gothic cathedrals in both Britain and Rome, and you smell everything that's in there, the 1,000-year-old concrete, the wood, the pews, the fabrics, the silks, the gold, the incense, the candles burning. That's what Penhaligon's Elixir is. So absolutely a fantastic shave. Well, thank you, everybody, and we appreciate you joining us here at Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home on a Sunday. We hope everybody's continuing to enjoy their Thanksgiving weekend. I want to thank Spider KJ at the Shaving Cadre for inspiring this shave today. And once again, I can't remember who wrote it, but whoever you did that wrote your journal regarding the 2-pass shave, thank you as well. This was a good experiment. And if you haven't checked out the Cadre before, please do so at www.theshavingcadre.com. Have a blessed Sunday, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. I'm Barber Dave, Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. Take care.